There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again, and then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the Army of Ukraine, our army.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Yeah! Broadcasting live! From the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. Man, on this 22 June. Damn, 22 June. The year of our quantum thingy going on. Dumpster fire. WTF Nation Radio, WTF Moments. This is the Monday edition. And how you guys doing? How's y'all's weekend going so far? I know some of you guys are still on a 4-day, and just seeing how y'all doing. Just did I say bitch? I'm gonna tell you what. Now King, drop it in there. If you guys don't watch, right before I always wait for King to finish up a show. Because I'm watching a show and I'm watching what he's doing and all that, and I don't want to overlap and mess it up. And some of the discussions that him and Michelle have, The King and Me was the show prior to the Monday edition. I'm going to tell you what, you want to watch some quality gourmet relationship talks and hot takes, that's the show to do it. That's the show you want to participate in and get engaged in the chats. They got some good dialogue and discussion. So, thanks, King. Did I say bitch? I'm gonna say, you know what? Maybe that Key and Peele skit, King, for you and Michelle to discuss. What is what is the impact of calling a woman a bitch? In some contexts, it's like, shut up, bitch, or wait, whatever, just joking around. Right? So I'm just saying, that I think that would be a good topic. Of course, I'm not going to tell you how to do your show, homie, but, I just think it'd be funny to engage in that. He's going to talk. Okay, cool. I mean, just the content in the name. Like for some guys, back in the day when we had the Manly Minute, some things hit harder to a guy than to a woman, how it would hit like to the heart. Like there's certain things that if you were to, I don't know, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to give you guys my secret codes to what would, affect me, obviously. I'm never going to reveal my vulnerability or my weakness. But what is it? What is the, I'm the man in the house. Did you say that? I love that Key and Peele skit. If you guys love Key and Peele, we watch Key and Peele. We actually, we've had one of the producers, writers for the show. Come on. Shadow says, I'll save you an entire episode. Don't do it. Don't call your wife. Right. Here's what it is. I always found it interesting. Mom jokes. Okay. In some corners of the country, a mom joke is your death sentence if you say it to the wrong person. It is, you say mom joke to some, when I joined the military and I saw everybody just throwing the mom jokes around, just like, he's talking about his mom. In some societal areas within our great nation, don't do a mom joke. Don't say, everyone's like, oh, it's that stereotype. What you say about my mom, I said? I'm going to tell you what, that holds true. You got to be careful. Careful with the mom jokes. Shadow's in there saying, don't call your wife a bitch. Yeah, exactly. Narcissistic wife number 4, come with the wind. Oh, wait, we talking about which way? Hey, Heath, why you throw my stuff out there? But sometimes there are a little bit of, there's a little bit of boundaries, just joking around, ICE is vulnerable to three things: lieutenants, big booty Latinas, and B-dubs. Okay, I'm gonna add another one. Another vulnerability. Actually, 2 more vulnerable. I'm not gonna say I have a a show crush or something like that. Have you seen Supergirl? You guys ever watch Supergirl? Not this new one that came out. Like Supergirl, pick your Supergirl. There's Helen Slater. There's another one. I don't want to mispronounce her name. Was it Melissa Benoist? Hang on. Now I'm all jacked up. Now I got to research so that way I'm not fucking this up. She's hot. I'm sorry. She's obviously she's probably towers over me. And so, yeah. I'm trying to find out which one was it. Who was it? I don't want to mess up her name. I hear I fucked up the last name already. Melissa Benoist. Have you seen her? Man, whoa. Good Lord, have mercy. That right? Okay, fine. I've just added a new vulnerability. You come walking in there looking like Supergirl. Good Lord, have mercy. I'm let me get fan myself. Well, I can't fan myself with my AAR propaganda for that. That's kind of like that Melissa Benoist. Oh gosh, look at that. That's just a hammer. Oh man. Such love, such joy, such ecstasy.
So much pleasure in my mouth.
That's Supergirl to be her and Helen Slater. That's a Supergirl right there. That's my vulnerability. Yes, sir. I'll admit it. Fine. I have another superhero screen crush, Twitter crush, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. There you go. There's my Shadow coming off the top rope. I figure most people tower over you. Wow. Okay, Shadow. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I'll admit it. I'm short, sort of, kind of. What's considered short? At any rate, that's what I'm vulnerable to. Big booty Latinas, of course. And B-dubs, obviously. B-dubs is my. That's what the WTF Nation embassy. At any B-dubs, you might catch us. You could catch any of us of the WTF Nation staff at B-dubs enjoying wings and stuff like that. So you might see us at the bar. You might see us with, all hanging out together. But when we have our meet and greets, we were just in New Orleans. We were in New Orleans. People were like freaking got like crazy on us because we posted a picture of us. We were in New Orleans. Got a picture that went up there, and the next thing you know, it was like, oh, it's GI. Yeah. We literally took the picture like that was New Orleans. So yeah, stop. Yeah, exactly that. Short Kings, unite. I'm just, yeah. So I'm sorry. There's my vulnerability there, Pip. So yeah, that's my. Don't forget Supergirl. Yeah, exactly. Be proud to be the Short King. What's considered short though? So that's my thing too. So, anyways, did you guys check out the news today? You guys been watching all the social media posts and all that stuff that's going on? We posted a video of a veteran getting beat up in a veteran home, and I know this has already made the rounds. This has already made all the TikToks and all that. And just letting you guys know that there was a message that did come out from the VA, and let me just post that up right quick. So this is from a Task and Purpose. So let me pull this up. So there was an incident that happened. There was a New York State veterans home that happened. And it was an assistant, somebody providing assistance to an elderly veteran. And God, there's a lot of ads up here. And it was videotaped. I don't know if you guys saw it on the news and social media. It was all over TikTok. VA chief vows to fire an employee accused of abusing. I don't know if you want to say accused. Yeah, everybody saw it. The incident alleged took place New York State Veterans Homes and Montrose, and drew the attention and condemnation of the department's top official. Veterans Affairs Doug Collins said the VA will fire an employee accused of abuse at a state-run veterans hospital in New York. I'm not going to play the video. Most of you guys have already seen it, or you can go on to U.S. Army WTF Moments or any other. Just look at veteran getting abused in a home. He posted this on social media saying that we will initiate removal proceeding for this employee because he added to the yesterday's post, that the incident didn't happen at a VA facility. News 12 in New York first reported the footage that purportedly showed Matthew Cox, an aide at a state-operated homes in Montrose, New York, repeatedly hitting the veteran who had served in the Gulf War. Now, I'm going to tell you what, that video made it hit our inbox and immediately was posted to social media. It was hitting all the TikToks. It was hitting all the reels, and a news outlet covered that, and it hit fast. And so, it was pretty infuriating to watch. I watched it, and I'm just, I mean, what can you do? What is the proper punishment? For something like that. Did he get his ass beat too? Have that individual. I don't know if the elderly and the young are the ones that should be the most protected, and it just seems like society doesn't care when it comes to that. And I don't know if a job firing would be enough. Prior to Colin's statement on social media, the department have removed Cox from all duties with patient care, a VA spokesperson told Task and Purpose. No information was immediately available about what Cox's role was at the VA, and he was obviously unable to be reached for comment. Angela Sangro, News 12 told News 12 that her husband, Albert O'Toole, suffered brain injury from an explosion in a Gulf War and later developed Alzheimer's, and he did well at the facility, and his condition worsened after he was transferred to the state-run veterans home. She started noticing that her husband started to show signs of bruises and other injuries that prompted her to place a secret camera in his room. The camera captured the video that shows Cox physically abusing her husband, including throwing him in the chair and hitting him with a broom. A New York Health Department spokesperson, Marissa Crary, with the following statement in response to on the questions on the matter, maintaining a safe environment for the residents and workers at this facility is our top priority. We will, as soon as we became aware of the incident, the staff member was immediately placed on leave, terminated after a review of the incident, and is facing criminal charges. There you go. Cox faces a felony charge of endangering the welfare of an incompetent or physically disabled person in the first degree. So I don't know what would you, what's the, now we always talk about this, something, you know how individuals say that a police officer or something like that gets killed in the line of duty, there should be an additional charge, or there should be more severe charges. There should be the same thing for, the elderly and veterans that are in those types of homes. You know what I mean? There should be something to where, hey, look, don't fucking do this shit because you will go to jail. Face severe. I don't know what my Ken size needs. He needs his ass whooped. Is what I would. Yeah. Because seeing that, like Shadow said, it is so disturbing seeing that. It literally is a video that, again, check it out on U.S. Army WTF Moments' timeline, and you'll see the video for yourself. And it really hit. It was one of those things to where you cannot. It just infuriated me. I couldn't believe I was watching that. And again, you would think in this day and age. So I think that also should be an indicator that maybe the VA secretary should be going down to all the veterans homes, state-run or federal, any home, just to check out what exactly is going on all these homes. That's kind of like everybody gets kind of frustrated when you see all the stuff that's being put on the news, right? And then the Joes don't see anything on the ground. Do you see everything being put on the news about we're going to be these great doing things, everything's going to be great. Oh, we're so lethality, lethal. And then when it comes to like just what you're going to post tonight, there's a matter of fact, let me look at this post right here. That was the here we go. This is on the Department of War is ensuring our war fighters have frontier quantum capabilities to dominate in degraded or denied environments. Let me post this up. Let me so you guys can see right now. Right here is like, yeah. Oh, ugh. Yeah. And here's the main page. They are in degraded environments for sure. Fort Gordon, building 25410 to be exact. We also tagged our friends over at Hots and Cots. See, when Joes see all this stuff, quantum dominance and lethality and raw strike, ready to fight tonight, raw, right? Joes don't see that shit. They're not getting hyped. They see this shit. They see bad chow. They see decrepit barracks. They see mold. There are actual commanders out there and installation leaders that are saying that that's not mold. It's just dust, or it's the air handler. It's kind of funny how when it came to barracks and stuff, when it came to facilities, when it came to DFAC and all the chow, everyone was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's not this. Oh, it's not that." But then when COVID came around and all the vax talk came about, boy, all of a sudden all those leaders were sure fucking experts in that shit, huh? We got a guest tonight, Joe Buccino, who's going to be joining us to talk about comms, talking about his book. He's going to spill some tea. And he's also going to reveal some history with us. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. So once he gets on here, as soon as he's going to drop in anytime, he'll be able to shoot the breeze, and we can talk about the good old days. He's been a guest previously on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. We've co-produced some stuff that has happened at the Innovation Lab, what was the Dragon's Lair it was called before, with the 18th Airborne Corps. Back at Bragg, where are you at, Josiah? And so Joe Buccino, friend of the station, and it was the caretaker brought this on himself. Yeah, exactly, Josiah. His wife had to hide a camera to catch it. Yep. So he's going to be joining to talk to us about some stuff. So, anyways, go back to what I was saying. This is what the Joes see. The soldiers don't give two shits about quantum shit, lethality shit, war fighting shit. All they see is this. And when they see this, what you're saying, oh, but everything's gonna be great. We have the best chow. We have this. You can do all the wave top bullshit you fucking want, but at the ground level, this is what the soldiers see. American quantum dominance. Hell yeah, I want some quantum. And denied terror dominate the integrated or denied environments. Trust the plan, patriots. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Earlier today, the White House posted a very interesting post, and it got everybody freaking riled up. Everybody freaked out and goes, "Oh my God, it's true!" You guys know, we always shit talk about QAnon and all that. Everybody got on here. It's. I mean, how can we? Exactly. What the hell? Exactly. This was posted for the White House. Always trust. And America will be the world's leaders in quantum technology. So maybe, I don't know, it was a tied thing, but maybe using the Q as an analogy or something symbolizing quantum stuff, which we haven't really had a very good update or press briefing to understand what any of the fucking shit that's coming out of the Department of War or the White House anyways. But this kind of like got everybody on the QAnon sphere. I got text and DM this so bad. So much. What is it? You see? Alex Jones right now is going, you see, I told you, this was happening. He gay frogged over everybody. When the government uses the word trust, yes, exactly. Yep, Colonel Joe. Yeah, he's no longer Colonel Joe. He's Mr. Joe. He's Mr. Joe Buccino. Or just Joe. You could just call him Joe. So, hang on. But yeah, he's gonna be joining us. So yes, he was at one time Colonel Joe. Colonel retired Joe Buccino. And so he's gonna come on. Yeah, so everybody, anyways, man, everyone was freaking out. All the QAnon people immediately started all the chatter going on. Did you guys see what you guys did? Really? Did you guys see that? So yeah, hang on, let me just double check to make sure. Hang on. Oh, let me turn off my thing here. What's going on? Anyways. So, yeah, so everyone was freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, what's going on? What's up with this? Why is why is it? Don't look at me. I have no idea of anything what is going on of Q and on this. I know the Q people freak out when I make fun of them about believing some Q posts and stuff like that. They try to correlate and connect me to whatever psyops is going on. It's hard to tell. I don't know who QAnon is. I have no inside baseball. I don't know who, what, male, female. I don't know if QAnon is I mean, look, save your movement, save whatever. I just think it's funny that everybody really, yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, I can see Space Force and Space Force fighting for custody. Yeah. Not impressed until they put out a flux capacitor from the DeLorean and a Bradley. QAnon is a psyop. Oh, shit. QAnon. I want to. You know, one day. See, that's the thing. You know how everyone's we're getting pushed left and right, and this, I can't wait for me and Joe to talk about this. But it's probably Lujan. Everybody talks about everyone talks about all the UFO, UAS, UAPs, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Big shout out to CQ. Myself and Porkchop have press passes to the Comic-Con this weekend. You got press passes? Really? How'd you pull that off? Yeah. How did you pull that off? How did you get press passes, Heath? Interesting. I don't know. Were you supposed to say that? Did CQ not say anything? You got press passes? Okay. All right. Well, which Comic-Con you going to? Anyways, I'm kind of tired of having all this. Like, look, we showed you these videos. We showed you this. Ha ha ha. See this? Here's an FBI recreation of an image of a UFO incident. Look, no, I'm done. Sorry, no. Show us the shit. Show us the shit. Epstein, UFOs, QAnon. Tell us who it is. This all hand wave shit that we got to believe you. We've got no leads on anything. The only way some individuals will ever know what the fuck is going on in the government is if they have an X account, because they don't post anywhere else. You'll see all the drama happening on X, and maybe you'll see one or two posts on the other social media accounts. Never do you see press passes are a psyop. Exactly. Let me see your knees, Heath. Yeah, exactly. In Mississippi, huh? All right. More power to you. So, anyways, yeah, I want to see. I want to see them shits. Don't be from Congress. Don't be a member of our sitting government saying, "Oh, we have it now. Wait till this happens. I have seen this. I have been in classified briefings." Now, shut up. Show us the shit. Show us the Stargate. Take us to Area 51. You want to impress us? Open the fucking gate. And send some people in there. Let people walk in there and just, mill about. Obviously, some of the other sensitive, but have some fucking aliens in a hangar or some shit. Just like, or have we all saw the Binder drama, the Binder joke of the Epstein files. The same thing. I know for a fact the government knows what's up with QAnon. Big time. There's no way, especially since we have members of our own military following mill meme pages. I made a comment about that today on social media. There's a briefing that's out there that has several influencing pages. Not influencer, but like mill meme page or something like that. We're on them. As well as other individuals who have posted some stuff that shit talked about what happened in the military or what's going on in the army. They seem to have that better, the list. They have that fucking on lock. Who's bad media and all that. Don't act like I don't. Ooh, I almost sound like the Joker. Don't talk like one of them. You're not one of them. No. Sound like Alex Jones and the Joker in the mix. So yeah. Yeah, tell you what. Until I see something, shut up. Show me them shits. I want to see it. I want to see the aliens like laid out. Like I want to be able to like touch some equipment and shit. I don't know, transmorgify me with something or zap a target, take us some weapons to the raid, fly a little ship around, have an alien come out and talk to us. Or at least let us poke around a little body or something like that. The same thing with QAnon. The government knows who the fuck QAnon is. Let me add that to your tinfoil. But you cannot at all, no. Now, again, I do think it's kind of funny that it's inflaming all of his opponents. I will say this. It just seems like everything now, we can't get anything done or nothing can get fixed because Trump has his name behind it. Because he has his name behind it, it's not going to work. He could cure cancer. Name it. He could rescue kid, do whatever. And somebody will fucking sabotage it just because it's him. Just because, oh, wow. It's because of Trump. Okay, but yeah, he's like, what if he like helps people out? Did you see the? No, hang on. Hang on. Let me show you. So this was before. This was before the post, and so. Oh, funny! Look at that. Just look how the timeline just lines up. Did you guys see that video of that Humvee rolling off that boat? Holy shit! Look at that. Hang on, we'll stop and look at it. I think we have sound on it. Hang on. Maybe everybody's like, oh shit, it's not working out the way it's supposed to be. So the vehicle, the crew member, the crew members in the vehicle, they did make it out. So it's would never post anything that would involve anybody getting killed or severely injured or something like that. Unless obviously it's a very public video of like an airplane crashing or something like that. That obviously, but whatever. Yeah, but those individuals safe. We're safe. So here it is. Here's the White House will be QAnon posting today, and it just goes long. Yes, literally goes long right there. And by Q, we mean quantum. Stay tuned. And that's when they talked about all the, of course, there's Elon. Oh, look, there's me. Yeah. So, yeah, we mean quantum. So all that just to hang on. Let's look at the White House stuff again. They changed their banner too. The algae stuff. Everyone's talking about the reflecting pool. Quantum mania. This is like a WWE thing. I don't know what quantum is. I don't math very well, so I don't know. Math is hard for me. So I don't know what the quantum technology is. This is the post right here that we where's it at? There we go. That's it right there. I don't know what it means. I don't know. If anybody from the government wants to come on and shoot the shit about what quantum stuff is, please hit us up and or be in the comments and yeah, because I don't know. I don't even know what the hell that quantum stuff is about. Holly, I'm probably a psyop at this point. Be careful what you ask for. Can't park there. Soft skins aren't amphibs. Well, what do you know? Humvees are not amphibious vehicle. Yeah, they say like strikers were supposed to be like that for a minute there. But yeah, I don't know what the quantum thing is. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. All I know is that make sure you subscribe and download to Hots and Cots for all your installation facilities and Chow Barracks needs. You'll be able to provide feedback and provide information to where you are at with Hots and Cots. They will be able to assist you and actually. So here we go. You guys remember this, right? The grading sanitation of F. Hots and Cots will square you away. Where's the one that it was about somebody saying that it wasn't mold? Oh, let's see. Fort Bragg. Swick Barracks. 81 degrees. 15 days, no AC. There's one that Rob had in here. The guy who runs Hots and Cots. So here it is, the worst defects and stuff like that. Ranking installations with at least 10 reviews show where dining is consistently strong and where it is broken down. Fort Campbell, Meade, Jackson Lead, Hunter Army Airfield, Stewart, and Schofield Barracks are far behind. Look at that. Look at that, man. Fort Campbell leading it. That's pretty cool. I don't see Fort Bragg on there. Fort Bragg is like, wow, way at the bottom. Fort Bragg used to be the model defect, or the model defects, I should say. There's one in here where we post that. Soldier asked for chili on their burger, and the Cotterbach defect was like, "Yep, I got you. There you go. There's chili. You want a chili on your burger, right?" So, I'm trying to find. There was an image where somebody had a picture of mold, and it didn't, and the installation was saying, my glasses aren't thick enough to know what quantum is. Yeah, right. Hottentot still taking reviews at VA hospitals. I think they still are, Shadow. I could talk quantum physics, but I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what quantum physics are at. Hang on, let me see. All right, cool. Just got a message from Joe Buccino. So, would you? I thought Hood would be higher. I don't know. Let's look. Let's look and see what Fort Hood would be. Go read State of the Defects. We will walk this together, Pip. The state of defects here. Let's see. White paper, blah, blah, blah. The good, the bad, the promising, blah, blah. What soldiers flagged the most? He's got some good. If you guys go, matter of fact, let me just state of defects here. Let me drop that in the comments here. So you guys can look for yourself and review the state of the defects. But I'm trying to find, you guys, I'm trying to find that freaking, this is this tab, yeah, hang on. Trying to find a house, I guess. So, campus style defect. He's also got the campus style defect up there. And here's what you're talking about, Hood. So, strong from day one, 0 1-star reviews, and a perfect score on choices. And one reoccurring critique is a kiosk flow at the entrance is an operational fix on a food quality problem. So, yeah, Bistro 42. Turnaround, Stackhouse, Fort Carson's most complained about defect, running out of food by 5:30, tiny portions, undercooked meals. After the campus style conversion, first review call it the best defect at Fort Carson. That's all right. That's what I'm talking about. Read the white paper. Yeah, there we go. Let me open that. Let me open that a little bit for you guys to see that, so you guys can see the. Since I mean, didn't expect to go into hots and cots, you know, but hey, we'll pump them up. So there we go. Matter of fact, let me. Oh, that's gonna be too big. There we go. Cross force. How the branches compare. Best and worst. You guys saw that. Celebration meals. These are the meals that have celebration types for account of the effective average. Yep, there we go. Yep. Thanksgiving chow. Army 250th. The good where dining works. There we go. Look at that. If you go on to Hots and Cots and look at the state of the defect. The bad recurring failure modes. It's always the limited hours, the closed and the late open. Here we go. I know McGregor defect has been getting hit pretty good too. Ooh, that was a fork. A GAO report. It's going across right quick. CDSD, yep. Campus style defect. Stackhouse before and after conversion. beyond the Army and Navy's food tour. I'm gonna tell you what, I've never had any issues at all with galleys, with Navy galley. Oh man, I've like I said, I've had some of the best chow in Navy. I've never heard anybody in the Navy complain about the chow either. I don't know, where my squids in the chats. You guys have any? If you had any bad chow experiences in your galleys? Share the meal deductions. Yeah, we talked about that. We even talked about the story about, look at this. See, Hots and Cots has this down. I mean, to the deets. And of course, you could take the report with you. Download the report. Hang on, let me close this up right quick. All right, yeah, there you go. Download the report. So there we go. I don't know. Again, I've never had any issues. The quantum technology, but no hypersonic munitions. It's cool. Yeah, no quantum technology, no hypersonic, or no hypersonic chow. Yeah, exactly that. Every time I've gone to a galley in the Navy, I've never been afloat or underway. Navy talk. To have eaten on ships, I don't know, but I will say that the galleys that I've been to on their port, the Universe in a Nutshell is a great beginner's book to understand on quantum physics. Okay, I never had a bad instance at all at a galley. Ashore means on land, not on a boat, underway, afloat. But yeah, I never had any issues. I've always had some like I said, I swear by the Philly cheesesteaks that are out in Djibouti at Camp Lemonhead. That galley there has the best Philly cheesesteaks I've ever had. Now I've had a couple of Philly cheesesteaks from like the food mall, the food courts at several installations when I'm visiting or whatever, or before I got out. And they have their Philly cheesesteaks. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd say the best Philly cheese sandwich that I had was in a Navy installation in Africa. And none of it, I can't even eat another one after that. Every time I try to relive the nostalgia of that badass. I think I'm behind the live feed. Oh, you are? No, I don't know. I don't think you are. I was talking about did the feed skip or something? Let's see. Oh man, no, I don't see it skipping. I don't think I've had no issues. No. There is a second delay when I speak, so when I'm on the mic and it gets to you, it'll be a little bit, but yeah, but about a second, a little delayed. So I don't think you're slow unless you just refresh your browser and stuff like that. But I've never had it. I've never had I can't eat a Philly cheesesteak now without trying to get that taste back. So yeah, I will never eat. Oh, he's in the room. Oh, he's in the room. There he is. Hang on, let me grab him. Let me set him up. Let me get my man in here. My bro. We're going to just jump right in this. We're not even going to take a break. So hang on. Let me get him in here. There he is. All right. Let me change cameras right quick. All right, Joe Buccino, how you doing, man?
What's up, bro?
What you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good.
Man, it's been a while, bro.
I'm about to say, where you been?
Been working. So, how's the show been going, man?
Good. Can't complain. It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
So, we're just talking about Hots and Cots right now, the rating of the DFACs, talking about the messaging that the White House has been putting out with QAnon type posts. Let's let's see what else. Talking about the VA, that veteran that was beat up in the state veterans home. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and then I talked about the VA chief's comments about it and all that. So yeah, other than that, I'm waiting for you. So I didn't want to reveal too much. So
Yeah. Do it, bro.
So anyways, Joe Buccino, retired colonel, comms director, comms guy, comms genius, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. He is here to shoot the shit about his book, Where Every Word Counts.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're live, dude. We're talking live.
You gotta give me a warning, bro.
Oh shit! No. We're not fucking talking on the break. We're live.
Was that the whole time I started talking? We were on.
Yeah. We were on. Yeah, dude. You said you wanted to come jump on in, so I'm like, you're jumping on in.
Let's jump in, bro.
Let's jump in. So, yeah. So I told you I was just gonna bring you on no matter what, and I was gonna take a break. So,
yeah.
So, anyways, Joe Buccino, how you been, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. I a lot of life stuff. I got this book. It's over my left shoulder there. When Every Word Counts. It's on Amazon. Please order it. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, please order it. The WTF Nation is in it. It took me 9 years to write it.
Well, say back here where you say we're in it, right? We're in it for real. Are you really in it?
You're in it. I'm supposed to provide you with the copy that you're in, but I was planning on reading it to you here today.
Oh, okay. Is it
because legally I have to do that?
So is it me specifically in it, or just the WTF Nation itself?
Both.
Oh shit, we're both. Joe, I'm honored that you put me in a book. I mean, hopefully,
all right, well,
hopefully it was good.
Good.
So what? Tell the audience, because we have new faces here. So tell us the audience a little bit about yourself, real quick.
Yeah, man. So you and I I was an Army public affairs officer. You and I go back literally 10 years. I came on this show, actually 9 years. I came on this show 9 years ago, and I was the public affairs officer for the 82nd. From there, I went to 18th Airborne Corps. Then I went to CENTCOM, and I retired out of CENTCOM. And then I've been doing a lot of consulting. And then I took half of that pay. I took a 50% pay cut to take this really cool job on Capitol Hill. I'm in politics now. I'm 6 weeks into it. It's good.
Good deal.
Yeah. And then I got this book coming out about communications. There's a lot of cool stories in the book, but yeah, how long I've been retired now, Ken? I guess shit. It's been 2 years.
I was about to say, yeah, it's about almost 3 years because we talked about
It's been almost 3 years.
Yeah,
now.
almost 3 years. Yeah. Because me and you missed each other when I was going to I was doing a speaking engagement at Fort Bragg, and you were doing some stuff in Tampa, and then so you made me blush. The audience saw that. I guess the camera's really quick on capturing my emotions there. You're making me blush if you're talking about it. Better be good, Joe. Don't throw me out there in the ringer. It's too late now. It's too late now. So it's a book, but you did warn me that would be talked about. So
it's in the book, and people should legitimately order it. Please order it. It's available right now on Amazon.
I just dropped the links inside the chat, so people on Facebook and on YouTube got the links. You want me to drop it on Twitter too? I could do that on Twitter if you want.
Yeah, please.
All right, let's do it.
How do I see the chat? I go on Facebook to see the chat.
Yeah, well, I have a unified chat. So my chat is. I can see all the chats, but you could jump on you could go on any of the Facebook pages. You go on Twitter, you can go at WTF Nation Radio, Twitter. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to, let me grab this right here so I can drop the link. So everybody's got the link. So go in there and buy a book so you can talk, so you can see about me and the WTF Nation and Joe.
Yeah.
So the audience is already asking, I thought you did comedy. You still doing comedy? You were doing comedy for a little bit?
Yeah, I had to. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I had to stop for this job. I can't do it because I'm the spokesman for a political organization, and I can't do it anymore. I can't do it at the moment. Plus, I just don't have any time. All I do is I go around, talk about this book. I do podcasts. I talk to people, and then I get up at 5:15 every day, go into Capitol Hill, and do this job until 7 o'clock at night.
So you're basically doing your old job again, pretty much.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Yeah, it's about to say you probably get less drama doing that. I don't know. This probably gets a little bit. What's it like working for some? What's it like working? I know on the back end and behind the scenes, I've assisted in a lot of the comms, but you're doing more front facing stuff, right? You're doing more.
Yeah. It's good. It can be chaotic. You got to match the messaging coming out, and can be kind of chaotic. But it's been fun. Back in the mix, getting after it, talking to reporters. All that shit I like to do. It's been good.
I was about to say, what's the difference between doing that gig and then being a PAO or being a producer? For
a real difference is I've never been on Capitol Hill. So I'm 51. I've never been on Capitol Hill, and there's so much to know. There's so many different rules. There's so many different places. The rules of how the votes work, cloture. How bills come to the floor. It's like a lot of stuff you may have known in high school and stuff. You've got to relearn it, and you're a little bit at a disadvantage not having grown up in it, because most of the people in Capitol Hill they start when they're 22 and they grow into these jobs. So
right.
That's been the biggest difference, is like just learning everything.
What about the personalities now that you're doing it on the out? I mean, you're on the outside now. You're no longer on the inside. You're the outside of it. How do you view that? How do you view being like, okay, I was in uniform and I had to deal with legislative personnel and comms personnel and staffers. Now that you're outside and you're in that world, how does it feel? What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, you have good people. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily think they all share our values, but you do have really good people, and we have a good team. I like the people I work with. I wouldn't do it if I didn't. I mean, I was making more money doing consulting. I would say the difference between consulting and this is like, Ken, is that when you're doing consulting for comms, you're sort of like parachuting into other people's problems.
I know.
And those comms teams, they don't want to talk to you because they're the reason you're there, because they couldn't solve the problem.
Yes.
You're kind of dealing with it. It's very isolating, and that part of it was kind of lonely for me. So when this thing came up, I really wanted to do it. So
is it, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's some of the stuff that I've discovered, assisting as well. And it really is, it's almost like it's almost like having an OPT coming into the G3. Yeah. An OPT is a staff member's pain in the ass, because an OPT is, like you said, it's the reason why it was created. Like when we were doing the producing of Dragon's Lair and all this other stuff, it was individuals were looking at us like, why are you guys doing this? This is a job that could be done by this, and we were just hammering it out like quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So does that give you a little bit of I don't want to say empowerment, but does that make you like, hey man, I'm just here to help you out. This is why I'm brought here. How does that in and out feel? Like, how does that in and out group type of feeling where someone comes in and is like, I don't like you, Joe. I know who you are because you know why you're here.
Yeah. Things are very, timelines are very, when people bring somebody like me in, timelines are very compressed. There's a problem. And you're not trying to solve a long-term problem. You're trying to solve a short-term problem. And so timelines are really compressed. So it's like, all right, I'm going to align myself with the decision maker, and I'm just going to stay there. Or I'm going to pull in one of the lawyers. I'm going to pull in one of the chief technologists. I'm going to pull in somebody from this part of the organization. I'm going to pull in somebody from finance, and just build out a war room, and then just worry about that. You don't have time really to integrate into a comms team or integrate really anywhere. It's a very short suspense thing. If people bring me in, they bring me in. I'm there at most 2 weeks, and all right, we got through it. Here's your comms plan, and then I fly back out. So, You know.
Okay, so with that, leaving, doing the comedy stuff, and doing what made you want to do a book?
Oh, I wanted to do it for a long time. I've been writing this book for a long time. I started writing it when I was at the War College, and then it kind of evolved. And when I was at CENTCOM, I was writing a book about Iran. And then when I went to get my book deal, Skyhorse Publishing, the same publishing company, by the way, that published the Melania book, is my publishing company. Said, look, there's more money in like a book about all these stories in your life and the lessons learned from each one of them.
Right.
And I said, yeah, let's do that. And so I took what I had. It took me about 1.5 years. I took what I had and I converted it into this book, When Every Word Counts. And, the middle part of it is all these stories from 18th Airborne, CENTCOM, my time, when I came out consulting with Boeing, all those pieces of my career from the Army, from consulting, from Boeing, corporate communications, working with businesses. And so the book kind of came into view in that 1.5 years. And then I spent most of last year just kind of finalizing it with the editor. And we have a really kick-ass book. It's been getting some really good reviews.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. So at that point, I guess you could say, what are the highlights of each spot that you worked? What are the key? Well, I don't want to spoil the book either. So yeah. So what are some of the key hits that I know you wanted to talk about out in the open, but you are going to be you're going to be revealing about in this book too, right? You're going to be revealing a lot more than.
Yeah. And so the book opens with, I don't know if you remember the story where the Alaska Airlines plane, the door fell off the plane.
Yep.
That was the first problem that I worked on when I came out of the Army. And it was an interesting problem to work on, an interesting, international crisis to work on. So that's the first story, story in the middle part of the book. And then I kind of go back in time and forward in time. 18th Airborne Corps, Dragon's Lair, that's in there, how we came up with that idea.
Yeah.
CENTCOM reacting to Iran. My time in Fox News, I was working for Fox News for a little while there, which is largely how I got this job, by the way. They saw me on Fox News and they had an opening and they brought me in to interview and I did well in the interviews. So, working on TV, working on Fox News, that kind of all that stuff is in there. And then, 82nd Airborne, and then the Fort Bragg horny tweets. That story's in there. You remember that?
Yes.
You think people still remember that story?
But I think the context of the horny tweets and the lore of it are different. Does that make sense? It made it sound like there was a PAO, like the PAO,
well, that really was the case, though.
No. Like it was like but it wasn't. How do I say this? The way the public affairs offices work on Bragg was the garrison and then the organization, and everyone. Yeah. There were people that were confusing both PAOs. They were confusing.
Yeah, I'm just asking you if you think people remember the story.
Yeah. Well, I hope. If you guys in the comments remember the story of the.
If you don't remember it, just look up Fort Bragg horny tweet. It's a story. I was not the one who released those tweets. It's a story that it's a shadow over my life for 9 years now. And I've come to embrace it. It is a funny story. It wasn't the end of the world. It was humorous. But it's in the book.
Let's just say that, when you are, when you have if you have a social media account, make sure you switch the profiles. That's it. Just switch the profiles.
Yeah. If you have to be clear, if you have a private account and you also manage the Fort Bragg account or an installation account, if you have a private account and you manage a military account and you're tweeting at a porn star, make sure you're doing it from your personal account.
Do you want me to go ahead? And pull those tweets up?
You can.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Because what I don't want to do, because if you got to be careful when you're on X, and you because on X you will look up something and you will definitely get what you want. So that's why I have to be careful before I put it on the screen. So of the public affairs.
Well, you can just Google it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you go on X and Google, hang on, let me look right here.
If you Google Fort Bragg horny tweets, you get the whole story, I think.
You think so? Okay, let me see. Let me look. Fort Bragg, because I went on X and it immediately started showing me some explicit material that I don't want to pop up on here. Fort Bragg horny tweets.
Yeah.
Never forget 4 years ago. Oh no, this was in it was the here we go.
It was a lot longer than 4 years ago.
Yeah. No, that was 4 years ago when it was posted. Lewd tweets on Fort Bragg account. This happened in 2020.
Yeah. No. Yes, it was 2020.
It was 2020. Yeah.
It was. That's right. It was during the COVID times.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I want to see civilian staffer, blah, blah. Everyone's like, show me the pics. What were the pics? Okay, I found the pics. I found the tweet. There you go. So hang on. I found the tweets. And then let me, now mind you guys, of course, viewer discretion is advised. All right. So here we go. Fort Bragg says civilian staffer posted explicit tweets on official account by mistake. And earlier this afternoon, Fort Bragg Twitter account was hacked. And
that was not true. It was not.
Inappropriate tweets were posted to the account. Fort Bragg social media to delete tweets and temporarily remove the account offline. And then, bro, why did you subscribe to my OnlyFans if you hate pubic hair? Why, bro? Why? And Fort Bragg responded with, he's lost. He doesn't know a good thing when he's staring at him in the eyes or tickling his nose in this case.
It got worse.
And then is like your boner's PUV, and he says my face, then the bone, but then mind you, I'm quoting my boners, and then my face again before I come up to give you a deep long kiss. And that was the Quinn Finette, what was the name? Quinn Finite or whatever her name is. She was the one that was actually enjoying the fact that she was getting that attention. So
yeah,
but yeah. So that was the horny that was the horny tweets. Okay.
Yeah.
What other highlights we got in there?
In the book?
Yeah.
I had some really intense times when I was working in SecDef, working for Mattis, some times at CENTCOM, and there's a lot of stories in there, man. One thing that the publishing company, they said, look, we want you to identify a story where you really got it wrong. And that's kind of what's missing in the book. And I said, all right, well, one time I really got it wrong is on the 82nd Airborne Division suicide policy, which is where you come into the story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, so in 2016, we had a draft of a suicide policy. It was a draft, but it was coming in to be a full policy, whereby bottom line is if a soldier died by suicide. So let me just back up. In a memorial ceremony, as we all know, there's 11 components to a memorial ceremony, and there's the playing of taps. There's the testimony. There's the roll call. There's the flag. There's the chaplain. So there's 11 components. And in the Fort Bragg, the 82nd Airborne policy, we restricted it down to basically 3 things if a soldier died by suicide. So you had a very stripped down ceremony. Well, not even really a memorial ceremony.
It was more so a remembrance. So I remember what it was like. There was a difference between a memorial ceremony and a remembrance ceremony. If I vaguely remember, that was the
right.
Yeah.
And the point of that was this idea, and there's some science behind it. It's not fully the science behind it and the studies on it are not fully baked, and I don't really think that they're accurate, but there's some science behind the idea of inception or the idea of contagion, suicide contagion, that if you have the full ceremony and you kind of honor somebody who dies by suicide, you will lead other people within the organization, a close organization like a military unit, to commit suicide. But bottom line, that's largely been debunked since this time, just so you know. And people were so somebody within the chain of command felt kind of horrified by this and leaked it to the Army Times. The Army Times ran it, and we kind of reacted to it a little bit. And then within 2 days, it was everywhere. The Washington Post condemned it. The Tragedy Assistance TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, publicly called us out. CNN called us out. I mean, it was like there were veterans that were outraged about this. The WTF Nation was over. I remember it was over 4-day weekend. We're just outraged, calling us out, and rightly so. And where I had failed as the public affairs officer for the 82nd Airborne Division is, anytime you have a document that's in staffing or that's potentially going to go widespread into the organization, you've got to think, what would it look like if this were in the New York Times? Mm-hmm. How would people react if this were in the New York Times? And so I had blinders on for that, and I didn't see it, and I let it get out. And then we were late reacting to it. And then I reached out to you, and I said, here's what we were thinking. Here's the idea behind it. We were wrong. But I want to apologize or make this right through WTF Nation. I want to have a formal sort of rescinding of this and an apology and a condolence posted to WTF Nation from me. Mm-hmm. And you thought that was a good idea. And then you went one step further and said, well, you should come on the show. Yes. And I came on the show and we had, I thought, a kick-ass show. And then it was over. I mean, as an issue, it was over. We corrected the policy. It was a bad policy. We corrected the policy. We've never gone back to it. And, I explained it, and the people heard my voice, and they gave me some criticism on the show, as they should have. And you and I have had a friendship ever since.
Well, I think a lot of it was the fact that you are also the first military guest that we've ever had on the podcast. You were the very first. We've always joked around and say, would it be great if we had these guys coming on? Wouldn't it be funny if so-and-so came on? You put your money where your mouth was, man. You actually came on and said, yeah, I'll come. Not only did you broke a first with us, as a PAO, but you broke a first with us in establishing a relationship with other commands. We established a command relationship, basically. And anything that had to do with any issues that were coming up, we provided them to you, or the command reached out and wanted, or you, I remember you were always, hey, the other admins were joking around. Hey, Ken, your bro, Joe's in the box, Joe's in the inbox. And it would be something that you wanted to get out. You want some command information to put out. You'd send it to us. We get it scheduled. And then bro, I think you've been on WTF Nation Radio, WTF Moments, I think more time than any other, military, because you started it. You were the first one. You basically broke ground on after that, any other military guests that we had in uniform at the time, mind you, had no problems coming on after that. And also help establish that relationship. So if there's any command issues that were going to come up, you were notifying us and vice versa. And there was another story that came out of that, of a unit or of an organization having some issues, and hey, is this happening? If you see it, let us know. And we, we're able to have that crosstalk and that dialogue. So a lot of good came out of that. It's not, it was one of those things to where we're like, dude, what's going on? And then you came on and I would say set everything straight, put your name on the line, and was successful. And I wouldn't say calming down the audience, but to let it know that you guys weren't just faceless leaders that didn't want to listen. You guys actually, okay, we're going to come on and talk.
Yeah. And one thing that a lot of people don't know, I never asked permission to do it. I just did because I knew I wasn't going to be like, I just did it.
Mhm.
And the 82nd Airborne Division commander was Kirill at the time. He heard about it from the Chief of Staff of the Army, Milley,
Mhm.
who called him, I think it was like 2 days later, and said, "Hey, that was really good that you put your guy on WTF Moments." And he pretended like he's like, "Oh yeah, that was really good."
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we got the
Great, I'm a genius. I had him on. And he was just then finding out.
Yeah. Well, I remember because we also had another in with a senior leader that everybody knows that would hit us up and say, "Hey, appreciate you guys coming on to talk about it, and glad you had him on, and glad everything's going good. How you guys doing?" Type of thing. And that was the offices of the Sergeant Major of the Army at the time. And it was his NC, one of his NCOs that reached out, just kind of like, hey, that was cool. I mean, it wasn't him, it wasn't Dan Daly himself, but it was it was hey man, so we saw that, hey, good stuff, and that was it. It was just a real cool thing. Nothing like nothing. He didn't come in because everyone still has that conception that Dan Daly is one of our admins, and so
oh really?
Oh yeah, that's the lore, man. That
Never heard that.
Well, never heard that. Okay. So Milley's office really did reach down to you guys.
Not to me, but
to General Kurilla. That's awesome. That's actually kind of funny too. So what was your feeling to it? Like, yeah, that was a great idea.
Well, typical Kurilla. He was like, yeah, that was great. I told him to do that, didn't he? And then he never came back from that. He just played it off like he had told me to do it, and we never talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a discipline issue that we talked about. All three of us talked about some stuff. Of the first woman infantryman that hit your guys' formation, and that was another one that we worked. So it was like I said, it was groundbreaking at the time because we were kind of like surprised. Is this we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. We were waiting for us to get punked. Like there's no way there's a unit out there that wants to, that wants to work with us now. When I say work with us, being having that media organization dialogue, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I remember that I was supposed to go on for 30 minutes, and I went on for an hour and 15.
You did, yeah. Yeah, you were only supposed to be in there just to shoot the shit for a little bit to tell what you were going to say, and then that was it. And then we just started blabbing. So all right. So that's obviously in the book as well. So what's the next one after that?
There's all kinds of shit in there, man. There's there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories from crisis comms that like really sensitive crisis comms. I worked a merger and acquisition, an $18 billion merger and acquisition that leaked to the Wall Street Journal, and I managed the leak for 6 days. I mean, it would have been a catastrophic if this thing actually was published in the Wall Street Journal. It would have been catastrophic. It would have sunk two major companies, two Fortune 500 companies, and I salvaged that. That's in the book. You should read that story. And then, part of the book is about. I had a couple of three assistants, who were studied in neuroscience. And a lot of the book, or the first part of the book, is the neuroscience of how we remember things and how messaging sticks in the brain, how stories stick in the limbic system, and how to employ that, to your benefit if you're an organization, a leader, a communicator, a public affairs officer, a soldier. And so that's the first part of the book. The third part of the book, the second part of the book is these stories. And then the third part of the book is about the employment of artificial intelligence. So there's a lot there for a lot of people. I hope you order it. I hope you order it, Ken, because you're in it.
Well, I'm about to say, where am I in it specific? You name me by name, Sergeant Major Ken Rom.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I'm gonna read it to you. You want me to read it to you?
Yeah. Let's hear the Ken excerpt there. I'm curious. Go for it.
Let me see where I'm gonna do this here. Let me see where I'm because it is kind of long.
We got time. Well, a little bit.
All right. I guess it's 2 pages. Is that all right?
Yeah. Go for it. Send it. Story time.
All right. Well, let me just maybe skip around a little bit.
WTF Radio presents Story Time with Joe Buccino. Go for it.
Let me just. I'm going to skip around a little bit here.
Okay.
So I'm explaining the story and what happened, and I say, the backlash accelerated when the U.S. Army WTF Nation podcast amplified the story. U.S. Army WTF moments run anonymously by troops have built a following of more than 40,000 listeners by giving voice to the frustrations of soldiers and veterans. Their community did not hold back. The division received thousands of messages. Eventually, the story spread far beyond the military press and was covered in a CNN segment. All right, so that's kind of the first time you mentioned there. Okay, then we come down here. Okay, now we're getting into how I kind of went on the podcast. So we made an announcement. And then I said, announcements do not, now I'm reading the book again. Announcements do not rebuild trust. They only signal intent. Rebuilding trust required something more direct. It required a conversation in the place where the anger lived. The U.S. Army WTF Nation podcast had been the platform where the original criticism caught fire. Theirs was the audience that felt most betrayed. The show's anonymous host went by the name Ice. He regularly skewered Army officers like me to a listenership of cynical, contrarian troops. Appearing on that podcast was not a comfortable position for my career or psyche. I never asked permission because I knew it wouldn't be granted. Senior leaders, particularly mine, would have viewed the appearance as legitimizing a hostile platform. I went anyway. My commander, General Eric Kurilla, was not exactly a profile in courage. The conversation was difficult in exactly the right way. I was not there to defend the policy. I was there to explain it honestly. The intent behind the original policy, why that intent failed to translate, my own failings as a communicator, and what the division was doing differently going forward. More importantly, I acknowledge that regardless of intent, the policy had communicated something the division had to own. I talked about our commitment to suicide prevention, about the resources available to struggling paratroopers and their families, and about the division's genuine belief that asking for help was an act of courage. To his credit, Ice heard me out. He was surprised I agreed to come on and gave me the respect he felt I deserved for facing his audience directly. He gave me space to meet the emotion of his audience. His real name is Ken Ramos, and we've established a very close friendship since then. I speak with him often. The audience didn't suddenly become warm. Some of them remained skeptical, and they had every right to be. But the conversation itself was productive. People felt heard. The division showed up in their space, not to explain, but to engage. That distinction mattered. By the end of the episode, the outrage had shifted into something closer to acknowledgement, a recognition that the division had listened, changed course, and confronted criticism directly. That is not a communications win. That is what accountability looks like in practice. And Ken Ramos allowed it.
Damn, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Man, I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
It all really happened. It all really happened.
No, I know it happened, but I didn't know that was your sentiment on the other side. It was,
Oh, it really was.
I mean, but we talked so much.
I know.
That it was. I mean, there's so many events that we've had that we discussed, to include when you were at the Pentagon with working with Mattis. There was some.
Yeah,
we had some late night phone calls there.
I know. That's right.
So
yeah,
what was that environment working over at the Pentagon?
It was fascinating. It was fascinating. I mean, Mattis tried to create an island of calm during the first Trump administration. And the way he did that, he was never there. So his thinking was that I can't get sideways with Trump or the Trump administration if I'm always overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were always traveling. We were always with him. We were always someplace else. And, we tried to focus on building, At the time, President Trump was, I think, rightly attacking NATO and criticizing our alliances. They weren't contributing to the level that they should have, and we were, United States was shouldering all the burden, and he'd come to office as the MAGA guy, like, we're going to husband our resources in this country, and people are suffering in this country. We're not going to worry about NATO and Europe and the Indo-Pacific. We're not going to do that. And so Mattis wanted to go to those countries and reassure, look, the message is, yes, you have to contribute. We're going to still partner with you, but you have to contribute a significant part of your GDP. You have to do more in this partnership. This is what President Trump wants you to do. And so we did a lot of that. I never got to know him. He had a lot of Marines and retired Marines and former Marines around him who revered him. I don't get into all that bullshit. I don't revere anybody. People are people, and they have their quirks and their foibles, and he had his. I never did the Mattis worship. I never liked it. It never felt comfortable to me. But he had a whole cadre of people that did. And I just kind of tried to support. And then when he left, my guy was Pat Shanahan, who Shanahan, I still do work for Shanahan. Just a great guy, just a solid, Shanahan was an interesting guy because he'd never spent a day of his life in the Pentagon. He never been in the military at all, never been involved in it. But he was a 32-year Boeing exec. He'd led at every level at Boeing. He made a fortune at Boeing. He made a fortune for a lot of people, and he saved some of the critical programs. And just a great guy, and a great leader. And he was trying to lead at a really very confusing and intense time. The first Trump administration was confusing. The first Trump administration, I got to go here in like 10 minutes, but the first Trump administration was confusing because you had Trump brought in these traditionalists and these people. There's Pat Shanahan and me and you at my promotion ceremony. Yep. Trump brought in these people who were not necessarily Trump loyalists, and there was a lot of leaking and a lot of backstabbing and we just tried to focus on what we were doing with the budget. Shanahan was like the budget. We just tried to focus on that every day. And it was great working for him. And then I went back and people at Boeing, I went back to Boeing and did some consulting. People at Boeing revere that guy. Like they are.
Well, the reason why I brought up your promotion, because us three had a great talk about back at its time in 2020, the infancy of AI. Yeah. We had that good. I love that conversation with him about AI and all that.
Well, he's the AI guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he really wanted to hear our takes. Speaking of which, what you talked about it a little bit about AI in comms. Is it prominent in your book talking about AI in comms?
Yeah. So there's two pieces about AI in the book. The first one is I don't believe in using it for comms. I think any time you offload your thinking and your writing and your editing and your notion of self to AI, you're losing your skills. You're eroding your skills. It's just like, being in the gym. If you have a machine that does the bench press for you, you're not going to get any stronger. You're gonna your muscles are going to atrophy over time.
I like that analogy. I love it. That's a good one.
And so people now, I see it all over the place. I work with these big PR companies, Edelman PR and ASRC. They take their cognitive load and they dump it onto AI, and that's a loser's effort. That's you're making yourself dumber. And you could, if you look at your writing before and you look at your writing after, it's going to be worse. It's going to be significantly worse, because AI ultimately, it's not good writing. It's not good editing. It just reverts to the mean. Everything reverts to the mean. So there's a funneling effect where everything kind of looks the same. It's the same cliched writing. It's the same cliched style. And nothing differentiates, nothing really stands out, and it's really bad to do if you're in communications or public relations. And I see it all the time, and I know for a fact there's Army public affairs officers who just whip out a press release on ChatGPT or go to Claude AI for a speech, and the products that they're generating are shit products, but they're making themselves worse. They're making themselves less valuable to the organization, because at that point the organization might as just replace you with ChatGPT.
I was about to say, yeah, you're not going to be needed anymore at that point.
And then the final part of the book is about an idea called AI model collapse. I'm at the leading edge of this in terms of talking about this in public, but AI model collapse. So the issue with model collapse is that AI is now building new AI. So the algorithm is building new AI systems, because the most manpower intensive and most expensive part of AI is building the new models. So they're training, Anthropic and OpenAI, they're training AI systems to build new AI systems. So you don't need people doing that. So AI is building new AI, and the training sets, the training data for that is what's on the internet. Well, what's on the internet is in some part, 40%, 50%, 60% AI created. So you're taking this AI created content and you're feeding it into AI, and that's training the next set of AI, and that's spitting out more synthetic content that goes online and that feeds into the next generation of AI. And so it's a cycle, right? You've got an AI, it's sucking up the synthetic content that's created by AI. It's making more AI content, putting it out on the internet, goes back in for the next generation. And over time, you've got a real problem where you're getting further and further away from a human heartbeat, further and further away from the kind of humanity behind writing and thinking and documentary filmmaking. And you're getting more biased information, and the biases that was inherent in the original AI programs, and the faults and the kind of all the issues that were inherent in the initial ChatGPT are more fully manifest as you go further and further down this path. And then, within 5 years, we're going to be awash in just synthetic bullshit content that is completely stripped of humanity. And it really is a problem if you think about, if we're using, we had an $18 billion line item in the budget for AI in the Department of Defense. Well, that's great, but that's great. That's important that we use that for war fighting. It's important we use it for targeting. But if you're using that for modeling, enemy movement, well, the idea with model collapse is that over time, the synthetic content is not going to account for new ideas. It's not going to account for, the quirks of human behavior or unexpected, human analysis that you would get from a human red team. And so it's causing problems long term. It's causing problems in the financial services industry, causing problems in Department of Defense. It's a problem in every industry, and that's like the last 4 chapters of the book is about AI model collapse.
Now, with that, I mean, for those of you guys that probably what you're talking about, it's probably like the next .com bust, bubble bursting. Yeah. Is that going to be? Because I noticed Hollywood is not as the flair of going to the movies anymore isn't there anymore. And a lot of critics say it's because of AI. A lot of it is because now the industry has been so pigeonholed and stovepiped into doing a specific way of filmmaking now using AI that it's not even, like you said, is it good for finances? Is AI good for financing? Is it good for running numbers? Is that a problem?
It's good, yeah. It's good for that, but over time it's not good for financial modeling. So, right. For example, if you're looking at the financial modeling around the next pandemic, it's not good if you don't have fresh human insights feeding into that system. it's only going to give you what it has from the last pandemic. And the next pandemic's not going to look like the last pandemic. And so you're not accounting for, sudden changes. You're not accounting for the humanity behind what might happen. You're just taking what happened in the last pandemic into the next one. And there's a full study in the book about this, but it's very good for, like, yes, human resources, financial services, replacing. There's a lot of things you can replace within Congress. There's a lot you've got to do comb through bills and identify issues within bills. There's a lot that AI can do with that and replace a lot of people. Within the Department of Defense, there's a lot of people you can replace in your adjutant corps. But I think when it comes to, intelligence analysis, when it comes to public affairs, there's a real danger in using it. And as a communicator, you should not be using it. You shouldn't be using it to write things. You shouldn't be using it to edit things. You shouldn't even be using it to tell you what word package you should use in the event of something else.
Right.
You have to rely on your instincts or you're going to lose them. And if you don't have instincts, you have to build them. And there's people that are coming out of college right now, like my daughter just graduated. There's people that coming out of college right now who will never have those instincts because they wrote all their papers on AI. They write all their emails on AI. They write everything on AI. They've never developed those kinds of writing instincts, those editorial instincts. Like what are the words that pop in your mind? You got to develop that, and that feeds into, so if all your writing is through AI, that feeds into how you talk to people. You're not gonna be able to talk to people anymore, or communicate with people anymore, because your brain works off of how you write. You communicate the way you write. And there's a real social harm to all this that I'm really worried about.
Agreed. A lot of it's also become some sort of dependency to it as well. Like now no decisions can happen unless it's run through some sort of model. And I'm like, well, you're the fucking boss. You could do it. Why don't you decide? Why don't you, why don't you figure it out?
Right.
But is it going to be just because a couple quick questions? Do you think that with the way the war in Ukraine went, how we didn't expect that whole General Milley saying, no, they're going to take Kyiv in 2 weeks or some shit like that. Do you think 5 days, something like that? Did you think that maybe that was a overuse of analysis with AI in that misjudgment?
No, because we weren't that deep into it at that time. We were using it just for targeting. We weren't using it for modeling of that kind. Okay. But again, that's a case like that is where AI would really fail you, because what wasn't taken into account there was the will. Russia had mass. Russia had 3 times the GDP. Russia had a modern army. Russia had attritable drones. What wasn't taken into account was the will to fight, and exactly. AI cannot account for that.
Exactly. Individual talent specifically, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, you got to go. Yeah, I told you I'd get you out of here as quick as I can for you coming on again. Once again, thank you so much for throwing us in there, and hell, throwing me in there as well. Yeah. When Every Word Counts, when is it available? You can
available now. It's available on Amazon right now.
You can pre-order it, and it comes out like what?
October 13th. But don't worry about that. Just order it right now.
Just order right now. Okay, yeah. Yep.
It helps. If you order it now, it helps them. It helps me because it makes them print more books.
Oh, gotcha. There you go. Is it? You planning on putting this in any professional reading places? Anybody's looked at it so far to put in their comms offices to say, hey, this is mandatory reading. Read this.
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg.
I'm going to Fort Bragg at some point in October. We haven't quite figured it out. It's going to be in their library. Fort Knox, it's going to be in their library. I'm talking to the Army War College. I would love to get in the Army War College. I'm talking to them. It's going to be a recommended book from AUSA.
There we go.
So we're going to get it into some places.
When are you going to do so those dates that you just said, those are book tours, right? Book signing and book tours and stuff like that?
Yeah, book tours. I don't know when. I'll find out next week when I'm going to Fort Bragg.
Awesome. Joe Buccino, When Every Word Counts. Thank you so much for hanging out, brother. Hang on real quick.
Yeah, order the book, please. Order the book. All love. All love from WTF Nation.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you guys so much. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going I'm going to move Joe out before we get back to the rest of the stuff. So stand by. I got to find the, hang on.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
I'm sorry that I can't keep it together. Maybe it's the trauma, or maybe it's the drugs. I can't seem to control my fucking temper. But the problem lies in not being enough. I lost my sense of humor in the battle for my mind. Now I'll slip away with one last puff this time. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Forgive me for the outburst with your neighbors. My actions don't reflect what's in my soul. Never found the right way to relate or take in and display a better role. The chemicals that shape me are buried deep this time. My family's already given up, it's fine. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, the only time with no regrets, letting myself die. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my life. The substance suicide, the only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Is letting myself die. Hell is a candle, not a big fireplace. It's a girl with blonde hair and tears down her face. It's a lack of emotion, but a devil so warm, with a sense of elation and souls being torn. Thought she was the problem, but I came to find that the thorns and the horns had always been mine. The devil in you and the devil in me are just part of the problem, as problems tend to be. You don't need to explain, we can both feel the pain.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Oh man, that was a great little quick chat there with Joe Buccino, the author of. Did you guys hear any music? I don't know. Did you guys hear that? I don't know. It sounded weird. It felt like the music was like not playing right. Hang on. You guys hear that? It looks like it's playing. Anyway, sorry. Anyways. All right. So this is Monday edition here. Let's go ahead and let's just do some housekeeping here. You guys heard today. Let me look at look at my notes here. Where is it at? All right. This is the Monday edition. Oh, I was wondering where my face is at. There you go. Just my face. There we go. Boing, boing. There we go. Monday edition. Right before that was the actual King Smith and Michelle for the King and Me on Mondays. Tuesdays, Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday, Smoke Pit and the Sports Bar. Thursday, Sergeant's Time with me and Spanky. FTX every other Friday. Weekend Co-ops on Saturday. And, of course, the Reset on Sundays. Make sure you like and follow us on all of our platforms. We're broadcasting on all of them. Broadcasting live on 2 Facebook pages, 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, on X at WTF Nation Radio. And let me see. I think did we want to go over the let's see what we got right here. Let's see what we where is our. Let me look at my channel here. And we are on, because we got some more. Yeah. So we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Just look up WTF Nation Radio. Hit up WTF Nation Radio. And of course, you can go on, most of our stuff is on YouTube with little shorts, clips, jokes, memes, and all that. So you'll see that on there. Joe Buccino, thank you again for hanging out, and we appreciate you mentioning us. And I am honored that you would mention me. I'm touched when every word counts. Check out the links. You guys see it under. It's going to be posted underneath the post on X, and it's also already in the chats on the 2 YouTube pages and the 2 Facebook pages. So, do you guys got anything for me? Any other, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Congrats on the passes there, Heath. I didn't know that. That was good stuff, man. So with that, I think that's it. Joe, once again, thank you for hanging out, and looking forward to see you come back. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Nothing feels the same. Left it all behind.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Я батько. Я молодший брат.
Я водій маршрутки.
Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат шахтера.
Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист.
Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Борщица.
Дядя Юра, таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи. Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.